Good afternoon, everybody. Verl Workman here, CEO of Workman Success Systems, and welcome to our Wednesday flash briefing. I'm excited. No, I'm not excited. I'm not fired up. I'm trying to find a word that describes how I really feel about our guest today. I am 100% humbled to welcome our guest, Ron Howard, today. Ron, welcome to today's Wednesday flash briefing.
Hey, Verl, it's awesome. Always awesome to see you. How's everything out there in Utah?
Everything is great. The sun is shining. It's 100 degrees outside, and we are boating like crazy. You know why? Because boating is COVID-free.
It's all you look tan. You look like you've been out there quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm spending lots of time in the sun. I want to tell you, everybody, as you come on to the flash briefing today, as you come on to this Facebook Live, I want you to just say hello and where you're from and say hi to the great Ron Howard. We're going to get into it with Ron here in just a second. Tammy Slay already says hello, Ron Howard, and she seems to lots of exclamation points. She's excited to see you here.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, Tammy, how's it going?
So make sure you say hello and where you're from, and we'll say. And if you have any questions for Ron, Ron is a great team leader. He's a great, he's a great soon-to-be father. We're going to talk about that, and has tremendous experience in not just in real estate but in life. And so, Ron, as we come out of the call today, I want to just, I want everybody to get to know you as I've gotten to know you. So tell us a little bit about Ron. Tell us a little bit about your background. Where are you from?
I grew up in a military family, so we lived in Germany, Alaska, Guam, Hawaii. The only benefit of my parents divorcing out in Hawaii is my mom stayed out there, and so half our family's in Hawaii. I get to visit out there usually once a year. Haven't this year because of COVID. We live in Baltimore City. I have a wife, Jenny, and we have two dogs, Lucy and Bernie, and we're expecting our first baby in late September.
It's like you're counting down the weeks now, right?
Yeah, it's what, 7, 8 weeks, something like that. So yeah, we're pretty excited.
So, Ron, you're in your late 20s. How does it feel to be becoming a father right about now?
I never thought I would have a baby this young. It's an odd feeling. I'm hoping that. Yeah, I'm 51. I tell you, after meeting so many sellers that are at that 50, late 40s, 50-year-old, and their kids have all left the house, and I met so many people that don't know what to do with themselves. And I think it's a great time at 51, and my wife's 40, and we're excited. We're a little more situated financially, and just really focused. So we can't wait. It's been amazing. It's been crazy actually during COVID to be pregnant, to be honest, but it's settled into something pretty cool.
Well, I can't tell you how excited Colleen and I are excited for you. We were talking about it the other day. Colleen asked me how soon it was before you were having your baby. I'm like, I think they're like 2 months away, and we're so
Yeah,
excited. Having 6 kids, and even being a little bit older when we had our youngest ones, I can tell you that they keep you young, and you're in a great time of life to enjoy everything that being a parent has to offer. And I'm just excited for you. And so, I can't wait for this big day.
yeah, we're excited. So yeah, we're couldn't be happier. Looking forward to it. We got pregnant through IVF, and if we didn't get pregnant that first try, we wouldn't have been able to go back in because they shut everything down with COVID. And at 40, Jenny's kind of running out of time, so like the stars aligned for us, and that was pretty amazing. So
Well, I just want you to know that my team was saying, "Well, wait a minute, she's having a baby in 2 months. She doesn't look like she's pregnant yet." So she's done a great job of staying in great shape, and it's going to be, that's going to prove out to be well for her as you go through these next couple of months. It's just going to be a fun time in your life. So just enjoy every moment. So
yeah.
where's home for you now? Where are you guys living now? And tell me about home.
So we live in a neighborhood called Canton, which is in the Baltimore City Harbor, and it's a neighborhood that started making a comeback back in the late 80s, and kind of as you start to see people come back into Baltimore City. So our office is based in Fells Point, which is a historic town right next to where we live, and both Jenny and I can walk to work. It's a 2-minute drive if we drove, and we love it. Baltimore's a great city. It gets a bad rap nationally, but once once you've been through like the Baltimore riots, which was all on one street, and you would thought the whole city was burning down, and it was nothing like that. It's a great town. It gets a little bit of a bad rap out there nationally, but we love it, and it's popular, and we got a lot of great neighborhoods. So
So, Ron, you've had just a tremendous real estate career, and you've gone through some ups and downs and some peaks and valleys. Tell us a little bit about what your team looks like today, and then maybe what it looked like a few years ago, because you were receiving, unbelievable awards for being rock stars and for having kick butt numbers of transactions. You've built some pretty amazing businesses in the past. Tell me, kind of give me a little bit of a real estate team history, if you will.
So yeah, you just go back 3 or 4 years. We were selling over 500 houses a year. We had 30 agents. We got that sales volume validation that everybody kind of gets in our industry. Um, what you kind of uncover though is profitability really creates the opportunities that you're looking for. So,
Mm.
back about 4 years ago when we were doing that kind of volume, it felt like our team was going to fall apart. We didn't have all the right processes, systems set up. We had opportunity hires. We were just full on pedal to the metal, growing, selling, and kind of patchworking things together. I had a lunch with one of your master coaches, Lee, senior master coaches, Lee Tezier, and we sat down. And Lee and I always been really competitive. He's a market away from us. He's a little bit north, an hour north of where I'm at, and I always had him on volume. And it was kind of the only sort of thing that you compete against. But then we sat down and we went through his business, and he started showing me his lead trackers for like the past 10 years, his transaction tracker. He could show me his business numbers for the past 10 years and conversion rates, and all of these things that he was doing. And I call them invisible anchors, all the things that you don't know that you're not doing. And we're sitting down and I'm just sinking in my seat like, oh my god, like I'm not doing any of this stuff. And that's the day I said, you know what, I never felt good about coaching. I just didn't want to accept accountability. So I left that lunch that day like really humbled and realized, wow, like Lee's winning the race. I might have him on a little bit on volume. I was always a little bit ahead on volume, but I was on that volume track. He was on the profitability track, and that's when I said I wanted to be part of that. I wanted to be in that race, in the profitability race. So today we're at 12 agents. We're striving towards operational excellence. We've implemented all the Workman systems. We have requirements to be on the team. We have core values. We have a whole hiring multi-interview process, disc assessments. I mean, it's like a 5-step process that you might see at like a Fortune 500 company. We don't want good hires. We want great hires. And the team right now, we're just so in alignment with our core values. And from a profitability standpoint, we're right. We're making the kind of money. We're making the kind of money that we were making. We were selling 500 houses, doing half the volume. So it's all moving in the right direction. Just really focusing on a regular basis on operational excellence.
So you said a couple of things that I want to, if you don't mind, I want to go back a little bit, but also want to tell you that Deb Parker says congratulations, and you're about where she was when she had her last baby, and she's so excited for you, and it's a blessing. Josh
Thank you.
Mace says you're a rock star, and he's can't wait to hear what you have to share today. A lot of
Awesome.
really cool people on this call today. Gary says hello, and looking forward to some great knowledge share. So we have some pretty cool people on the call today. I think it's really fun to see them as you come onto the call. We're talking with Ron Howard. Ron Howard's a team leader and out of the Baltimore, Maryland area, runs a fantastic team out there. Has gone through some ups and downs in business, doing as many as 500 transactions a year. I do remember, and I love the fact that you went and met with Lee, and Lee sat down with you, and you realized that profitability was important to you more so than just volume. I wonder how many people walk across stages and get big awards for high volume, and then go home and try and figure out how they can pawn their awards so they can get some money because they've spent it all.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, when when your volume's going up, but your profits kind of leveling out or going down, that's when you just realize you're not doing things right.
And so let me ask you, so why do you do what you do? Like what gets you up every day? What gets you up and motivates you to even have a team? Like some people say that I like being a real estate agent. How did you go from transitioning from I just love selling houses to I want to build something bigger? What's the trigger? What was the trigger for you?
I want to. Uh, I find great joy in helping people succeed in what they're trying to do in life. So I feel like leadership is really helping people get to where they want to go, and it's a thing that I find great joy out of. Altruism, just helping people and working and developing agents. I've had agents that have joined my team that lived in a basement apartment that now live in $1 million houses on the waterfront with their new wife and kids, they've developed since they've been with us. So, those are some of my more proud moments. And um, it's just getting, the trick is getting the right people in the right seats, doing the right jobs, and having the right team all doing the things, and understanding what the roles are supposed to be, and how to hold people accountable. But yeah, I love working with people. I love serving my team, and together we just all kind of try and build success.
All right, so I'm sorry that I got to throw this out. It's in the middle of the summer, and you have a snowboard in your background. Now, so what are you passionate about? Tell me about some of the things you do for fun. You're a bit of a thrill seeker.
I love snowboarding. That was the snowboard I bought right before the trip that got canceled because COVID. We were coming out to coach training out in Utah, and just haven't taken it home yet. It kind of found a spot right there in the office. I love mountain biking. It's really one of my favorite hobbies. I'm a pilot. I don't fly as much as I used to, but really love flying. You, you know, if the conditions are right, would love heliboarding out west, or anywhere that we could do that. Yeah, I'm definitely outdoors, man. I live in the city. I love the city life, but within 20 minutes of Baltimore, you can get out into some really good mountain biking, and the beach is a couple miles away. I grew up surfing in Hawaii, so definitely action sport oriented. Definitely not on the chess team. That's for sure.
And there's nothing wrong with being on the chess team if you
No,
do
no,
it
no.
if you do it in a hot air balloon while you're bungee jumping.
Right.
It's the pregame.
Yeah.
It's the pregame. I remember going to Florida with you and the challenge you made with everybody to go and the slingshot and, and get that up there. I know my son, it was funny because Nate got his new 4x4 and he wanted to really impress Ron. So he jumped it over a ravine and threw the bottom out of it.
Yeah, it was that was New Year's Day. We were out in the Utah outback for about 10 hours. That was fun. It was definitely adventurous. Good time.
Definitely adventurous. So that adventure and your love of life, I think, is what attracts people to you. You're everything you do is full contact, whether it's selling houses or whether it's being married or starting a family. It's like, if you're going to be in, you're going to be all in. How is the way you have your team set up and structured going to allow you to check out when you have this new baby?
So, one of the things, we started rebuilding our team over 2 years ago, and we struggled a bit with operations and finding the right people, which we have right now. So, we have a great operations team. We can operate fully virtual. COVID pushed us into that, and we've been using Zoom for daily huddles, every Monday through Friday for 2 years. So, for us to go fully virtual, even though in this state we didn't actually have to use it,
Yeah.
we were prepared. So when we have the baby, we're developing an ISA division, and I'm going to stay at home for a couple months, and all I'm going to do is make calls to listing leads and get that set up. So we're interviewing people now to be an ISA manager, and for at least the first couple months, all I'm going to be doing is working with whoever we bring in, and just calling leads. And I have a couple listing partners that are going to run all those listing leads, and pretty excited to align, staying at home with the baby, and just making calls all day long.
I love that. You're going to be an ISA.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But I love that, though. You're good at it, and you're good at lead conversion process. So let's shout out to your team. Why don't you tell me who's on your team and who your team
Sure.
members are?
So we got Tressa Manna. She's been with us a long time. Since like 2005. Kurt McCabe,
So
our sales manager.
now hold on. So with her, she went through the transition of kind of imploding the old team that wasn't profitable to building the new one. So she was with you through that whole process.
Yeah, she's been there. Kurt
That.
McCabe, he's been with us quite a long time. He's our sales manager. Liz Gebeline is so we have a director of education now, and we use the Workman BAM Live and Ramp Live programs to bring our new hires in and get them up to speed pretty quick. And got a guy, Patrick Wesley. He's our ambassador of experience. So full energy guy. You've met him a few times. He helps set the tone for what's expected in the office. We got a great.
I love Patrick. He's like a legit BAM groupie. I mean, he has watched that program so many times. It was so fun meeting him at Leverage and having him
Yeah.
be so excited. He's like, "Welcome to BAM."
Yeah, he's been through BAM 13 times,
Yeah,
so
awesome.
he can imitate you, he can quote you. He's got a good verbal shtick. It's
I
pretty
love
funny.
it.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, I have John Stockton, Fodi Mavaroulis, his wife Eva. So we just we took your programs and turned them into a 90-day program. We call it 90-36. So in addition to the Workman programs, we teach the contract and writing and dot loop and a whole bunch of other stuff. His wife, Fodi Mavaroulis, who's been with us for a number of years, his wife Eva just came through it, and God, I think she's done 6 deals during COVID as a brand new agent, and it's been amazing. So we're just getting ready to start 4 new agents in Ramp Live that we're teaching internally, and it's pretty excited. A big part of how we're going to grow and expand into some of the other offices that are in our office. So just 6 months ago, our office merged into Remax Advantage, and we were a big proponent of it because we wanted to expand into some of the other locations. And we're using the Workman Live programs to develop agents. We figure we're just having great success at finding the right people, the right disc, the right alignment and core values, and um, teaching them all the right habits out of the gate instead of trying to bring somebody in and break the bad habits and work through that. So we're having great success and are going to use this moving forward, expanding into some of these other markets that we're planning on getting into. And for us, it was finding the right operational people to get the operations running really smooth, which we have right now. And so we're pretty excited. We're starting a ramp in 2 weeks with 4 agents, and um, get all the kinks worked out, and then we're just going to keep on growing our team through developing the right people, but really focused on what we call blue water type. The red water. Everybody's fighting over these $3 and $5 million a year agents, and to be honest, like that's not impressive to me. So we're not really interested in that. I'd rather take somebody that hasn't been in the business, but they got great, they're the right personality. They're driven, they're hungry, they're humble, they're smart, and train them up perfectly. And we're having great success with it. So let everybody fight over the $3 to $5 million agents, which I have zero interest in. I'd rather bring somebody brand new, spend 90 days, put them through our program, and get them rolling like the right way, where they're good doing the daily huddles, they're good tracking their daily success habits, they're good with everything that we're showing them, everything the Workman way. They've bought into from the very beginning. It's kind of tough when you bring somebody in that's been doing it for 10 years, and you're trying to say, hey, you got to do all these things, and you get too much resistance from it. So
That's so true. I like to say to people that I want you right now before everybody else screws you up. And you know what I mean? It's hard
yeah,
to everybody has habits, and it's not that they're good or bad habits. It's just that they have habits, and we
right.
want to replace them with better habits. And sometimes there's a lot of pushback because the current habits are comfortable.
Exactly. I mean, it's a interesting thing too. I get into conversations a lot with agents that are doing whatever 3, 4, 5 million, and in that, I think they're so used to being chased that in that conversation they kind of like spin it around as if I'm recruiting them. And and I'm always like, no, that's they'll start talking about like how we're set up and what the splits are, and I'm like, no, this sorry. it's,
So
it's
yeah, tell
not.
me more. Tell me more about that. You don't recruit. So what's the conversation like? It's you're looking for people who actually they earn the right to be part of your team, as opposed to you talking them into joining. That's a different
So
mindset.
we're promoting our agent development and coaching services, which is mostly built on the Workman platform. So yeah, we're certainly not chasing people. I mean, I wrote a book about not chasing things, and um, by promoting the education stuff that we've done out there, we're finding a steady stream of people that we're sifting through. We're interviewing for intelligence, integrity. We're doing DISC and multiple interviews with our sales manager and director of education, and we're kind of making it tough to get into, and we've made it into a very tough program to finish. And so far, it's been very successful. Like we're bringing the right people in, and so yeah, when I get in these weird conversations, we have a lot of what I call jacked up big teams in this area where, they're like I was but they're doing 1,000 deals a year, whatever, and nothing makes sense because they just don't have the revenue to hire the right people to provide the right services. So you get these agents have been there for a while that roll out, and they're big team refugees, and I see a constant stream. And then a lot of those agents will go and start their own jacked up team because they just don't have the right systems and processes and structure. They don't know how to train people, hold them accountable, and scale a business. So, um, I get in conversations with guys and girls like that often, and I just kind of sort of walk away or get out of it because I'm just not interested in trying to fix people. So
It is a very different mindset. And so tell me what kind of production your team will do this year. What does your team volume look like?
so we're on track to do right around 250 transactions, and for us, that's for this team, and
It's awesome.
uh, yeah, we've literally struggled for a year with getting our operations to perform at a pretty high level, and we're there now. So we've deconstructed, rebuilt, got last year we did 256. I think this year with COVID and everything, we're on track to match that, and now we're using everything that we've developed and implemented over the last couple of years to really grow it into a couple other markets, a couple other offices. I think that's a problem a lot of people run into. They get to that, they start doing next level, like expanding into other offices before their operations can really manage that and make it make
Right.
sense. So I've been there. I've been there where I felt like I was you know crashing into a wall, like every day. Every day it just felt like something was going to explode. And so I think taking the time to get things right before you hit the gas pedal is pretty important.
Yeah, I love that you're talking about operational excellence and building your foundation. And I also like the fact you're talking about expanding. Who are some of the people that are helping you think through the expansion model? Are you having conversations with people who have done it in the past? And what have you learned about that expansion?
Well, so my coach Sarah, who's obviously a Workman coach, she had a team in Maryland while she was living in Florida, so she understands expansion. And Brooke Signs, another Remax agent, is her and I have had a number of conversations. I've been studying it for a number of years. I've been to a handful of events, expansion type training events, and been looking at it. But I've been watching a lot of people fail miserably at it, and it's been fun to watch watch people like do it wrong, and you're
I'll
starting to
learn.
see people. Yeah, better them doing it wrong, and then all of us learning from it. So I think the trick is figuring out, are you going to use your home base services? Are you going to replicate what you've done at the main office? And I think we're in a position where we're going to do a mixture of both, and I think we got it figured out. So we're getting ready to expand into two different markets in the next 2 weeks to start recruiting. And we have we use Sync as our CRM, and it's a fantastic tool, CRM, and all the technology there to easily turn on new agents in a new market and get that going. So we're pretty excited.
Yeah. So, it's interesting to hear about your kind of your growth and your transition. I'm curious how becoming a coach has helped you become a better leader.
I mean, being a coach has made me such a better leader. Just the coaching calls on Friday. We do a Friday coaching call, and I look forward to that all week. I would pay for that. And, we're in a Zoom call with some of the smartest people in real estate that, I mean, it's really a testament to you, Verl, too. I just, every coach from the master coaches on down can't say enough good things about you. And it's, it's hard to believe every Friday, like there's so much brain power in those calls. And, yeah, just it's being coached is one thing, but then getting to a certain level where then you can coach people and help them and work through the same things. It just takes everything to the next level. I'm getting there, twice as fast as where I'm going. As if if when I was doing it on my own, I was bouncing off walls and I was hitting. I had the volume validation, but it's really the profitability that creates the opportunity to take your business to the next level the right way. And it's been amazing.
It's interesting, Ron, when you came to your very first coach training, you weren't a coach yet. You were checking us out, and we were checking you out, And you got invited, and we don't usually let people that aren't already coaches come to coach training. And Lee said, no, you need to let Ron, and here's his numbers. And it was an impressive thing. But what I noticed about you, first of all, that you were willing to get up and share, which I thought was great. And the second thing is you were humble, you were teachable, you were open to learning and doing things different. And I think that's one of the things that makes you different as a leader, is that you don't think you have all the answers, and that you're open to learning, and you're also open to sharing and to giving. And that's why you fit in so well with our group. It's been an honor and humbling to get to know you, someone who does so much business. The other thing that I don't know if our listeners picked up today, and I hope everybody hears this, is that at 250 transactions, Ron is making more money than he was making at 500, and he's more profitable, and he's a lot less stressed. And now he's got infrastructure to be able to grow and to scale. And to me, that's really that's a cool accomplishment. Like, to really look back and think about what you've accomplished in the last just couple of years.
Yeah, it's interesting when you really like think about the volume validation that we all kind of get sucked into, because it doesn't start that way. Like, we're real competitive, and you compete at any cost, and it's just go, 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 go. And it's like on a racetrack, and finally, Lee was like somebody saying, pull over, you got a pit stop, man. You got to, your car is going to fly apart. And, um, that was a moment. That lunch him and I had just changed everything, because I finally, like, I got to accept accountability, which is a big thing. I mean, once you accept accountability, we all talk about having integrity and accountability, but once you accept it with yourself, everything changes.
Yeah.
And it's you stop fighting, you stop saying I can figure how to do this my own way. And yeah, it's been amazing. I wish I wasn't a knucklehead for so long, but it felt good those years to always be ahead of Lee. But he's the one that got the last laugh, because he's making all the money.
It's funny. I think it's okay to be a knucklehead. I think that if we aren't a knucklehead, we don't have the life lessons that prepare us for the greatness that's about to come. And so when you think about all of the challenges you had in your life, each one of them puts you in a better place to be open to learning. And if you hadn't gone through that, you'd still be doing the same things.
I agree. Everything good I've ever done in life has been driven by pain, whether it's like financial pain, getting broken up with it, you know, and being broke that got me into real estate. Pain is an amazing thing, and the trick is to take that pain and turn it into motivation. Don't let it pound you into the ground. And I've been fortunate where I let it drive me and motivate me. So that's the trick. Well, the trick is actually to do it before it gets so painful. To be a little more open-minded, radically open-minded about things. And coaching, I think, if I was starting back out knowing what I know now, I would have an assistant and a coach right out of the gate, and I would have figured a way to make it work financially. And I had 10 deals in my third month, so I could have made that work. I just didn't know when I started what the next steps were. I was on a team, but I was doing so much my own self business that I had to leave there to start a team. And you just kind of start piecing things together, like sort of putting the parts together, and it's just go, 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 go. There was a documentary I saw right around the same time when Lee and I had lunch. It was called Senna. It was about this Formula One world champ race car driver, and he's known. He's had the most pole positions. He says second place is the first of the losers, and he's just go, 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 go. And at the end of this documentary, he crashes and he dies. And the day he died, he was, he's pacing. He knew that the car wasn't right. He knew the team wasn't really communicating good. But he just got on the gas, he just got out there and go, 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 and killed himself. And that's how I felt. I felt like I was going to crash into a wall. And, I think about now, if you stay in that race car driver paradigm, that having your business is like a fine-tuned race car, getting all the right, everything tuned in and running really well. And your race team has to be really good. You have to have a great crew and build a crew that's going to support you and everybody's goals. And I thank you for everything that Workman's done with me kind of getting everything on track and on the profitability track.
Yeah, I don't want you to get in your car and crash. That's for sure. That's for sure. Nicole says that she really admires you and she appreciates your viewpoint in business and in life. And I think that you do have that impact on a lot of people. Tammy Slay says your
Thank you.
book's the best book in real estate. Um, tell us a little bit about that book.
Well, create demand and stop chasing business was, uh, you guys have never seen videos of me on panels or anything because over the years you get invited to all these things like, hey, you're doing 20 million a year or 30 million or 40 million or 50 million, 100 million. And I was never impressed with it. So I didn't do anything. I didn't go on any panels. I just thank people for the invite. And, I said to myself, once I get over like 150 million in sales, we'll take a look at it and see if there's some things I can share. And right around that same time, we hit 150 million. It was like 540 deals. I had a guy on my team come and ask. He's like, "Hey, what is it that you do why you sell so much real estate?" And that was the beginning of that book writing. I said, "Hey, give me a week and I'll write something down and share
Next
it
thing
with
you know,
you."
you got a book.
Yeah, I wrote a book. It took me like 3 months to figure out if there was anything unique we were doing. And there was some really unique stuff, we were doing because we don't cold call, we don't prospect, we don't door knock. We've never done any of that stuff. We never chased business. We were really big into, building our brand and making it stand for some really unique things. I went to flight school to make everybody think I was sharp. I still come in to this day every day at 6 a.m. to make everybody think I'm the hardest working realtor because I feel like I am. Got really involved in the community. Which created amazing reciprocity over years and years and years of being on working with different nonprofits and getting on boards and I love doing that stuff. So that book was just like here's what we did a little bit different to get to the volume. We're not like sell sell sell. We're service service serve regardless of opportunity. And I think that's where you come from, and that's I think when you read that book, you probably saw a little bit of alignment of kind of where we're coming from, different ways, but very, very similar. So yeah,
I saw a lot of alignment, Ron. Um, it looks like Bettina said, I just ordered the book and put a link in the comments on how everybody else can get it as well. So, hey, that was worth it. We got sold the book on this call. Didn't even have that in the agenda, did we?
$4. All right.
Well, what I like about, well, I'll tell you what I liked about the book is it wasn't a book trying to sell anything. It was a book on this is how we really did it. This is how we stopped chasing business by making a difference in other people's lives. And the business came to us. And if you follow these principles of success, you can have it too. And so I like that there wasn't a agenda behind the book. So many books that are written have a coaching agenda or a sales agenda or a consulting piece or something they want to upsell you into. And that book was just written from the heart on, here's how you get there. And this is what worked really well for us.
Yeah, it was a interesting project actually. Like, when you're writing a book, it's you're trying to finish a puzzle while you're creating it at the same time. So you don't know where it's going. I actually found my very first notes for that book. It took 2 years to get published, and if you if you looked at the notes from the beginning to where it evolved to, it's so different. So yeah, it's a fun process. I think it's like rehabbing a house. Once you do one, it's going to be easier the next time. So
Sure.
who knows? Maybe we'll get another one out here down the road here.
Josh May loves it too. He loves the book. It's fun.
Awesome.
It's fun to see people's comments and the likes and everybody commenting. Make sure that as you tune into our live broadcast today, that you have questions for Ron, write them up, and let's ask Ron anything. Ron said there was no topic that was off limits, and so if you want to know how a scrappy guy with real estate business that wasn't very profitable attract a beautiful new wife and is starting a new family, that's a great question to ask Ron. I think he's telling me a little bit about that beforehand.
Yeah,
Showed her
well,
the bad side all the time, and then when she saw the good side, she was really impressed.
yeah, I met her. I only let her see the bad side for like the first 2 weeks, and then in the beginning of the third week, I showed her the good side just so she would think I just get better looking every week, and I think that's what got to close the deal.
I'm telling you, you got to have a strategy.
Yeah.
So Ron, I'd like to just hear, like, for someone who's thinking about when you start throwing out numbers like, I was doing 150 million, 500 and something houses, it blows people's minds. Even doing 200 transactions, the average realtor does 7 deals, and they're tuning in and they're listening to us. How do they go from the just thinking about where they are today, maybe doing 10, 20 units a year, to actually believing that there's another level possible and that they're able to accomplish it without sacrificing their family or the things that they love in life, the snowboarding, the flying in the plane, the things that really matter, being with your family and your friends. What kind of advice would you give to that 10 to 20 unit agent who wants to do something more but doesn't know how to start?
Well, I mean, I'm not selling coaching and I don't sell coaching, but it's made the biggest impact on me. Having a guide, having somebody to look at your business from a different perspective, it's getting me there twice as fast. It's been amazing. So I would look at that, an accountability partner, uh, somebody to help you kind of see the way. So many people have, when I got into coaching, I thought I had this very unique problem, and it was like, get in line.
Right.
Like everybody, like a lot of people have that same problem. So I'm like, nobody can help me. This is very unique. I got, this and that. And they're like, no, this is pretty standard. You need a strategic plan. You need to nurture your top 50. You need to get your team committed to do daily huddles, so it's a handful of things, but you have to really, you have to have integrity and be honest with yourself. You have to stop BSing, yourself and saying, I want to do all these things, but knowing inside that you're not doing any of the things you need to do. So um, that's the big thing. I think it's taking responsibility, accountability, for backing up all the BS you tell yourself, right? Like, I'm giving it everything I got, and nah, you're probably, you're not. So, like, why don't you give it everything you got and really invest in helping you get there a lot quicker, a lot more profitably. I would have had an assistant a lot sooner. It's not that difficult to define that first assistance role. Everybody's got a little different description of it, but generally it's very similar. And I would define that and not be scared of it. I think whatever pain you're dealing with, not being able to go on the vacations you want, not being able to have the Christmases you want, all the things that you're not doing because financially you're not getting there. Because like if you're an individual 20 deal agent and you sort of bounce, right? Like you create this opportunity to go to the next level, but you enjoy yourself for a couple of months, and then your business is going back down. And I just see a lot of people sort of missing those opportunities. And um, you need somebody to say, hey, you're doing really good, 20 deals or whatever it is. Now let's get you and your family to that next level, and let's use a little bit of that pain to drive you and transmute it into at least wanting it and then figuring it out. But coaching for me, like I had a few people like, you're doing 500 deals a year, why do you need a coach? And I'm like, well, Lee said that even coaches have coaches. So
Yeah.
I need a coach. I need something. And it was amazing. Sarah, my coach, she's great. She's a systems person. I'm a high I. So I wasn't as focused on systems. I was focused on connecting and selling and driving the team and everything. And it's coaching or having somebody show you the way, like making up systems and making up commission structures and patchworking all these sort of self-taught, self-coach things together is only going to take you so far. And then, you know, and you see that, you see teams implode, and you see, we got pretty along the way, and we could have kept on going too, because we were making money. It just the profit stopped, the volume kept on going, getting all the awards, but
Woohoo.
I'd take the profitability.
Yeah, it's funny because Ryan today, one of my sales guys came to me and he said, "Oh, I'm so frustrated." I said, "Why?" He said, "I've been following up with this guy for 90 days, and today was the 90-day follow up." And he got him on the call, and the guy said, "Ryan, I've decided that I need to pay $1,000 a month to have my kid go to private school, so I can't afford coaching."
Hmm.
And my response to that is, "And you don't really understand what we do. You don't really understand, because if you think $1,000 a month for coaching is a lot of money, think about the impact it has on the people's lives that we actually serve and help. And if you have to make that decision, then you're not making enough in your real estate business. Like I want people, and this is genuine from my heart, is I want people to make so much money that they make all their decisions in life on whether or not it's the right thing to do or not the right thing to do for their family, regardless of what the money is. But you
You know,
can't do
I
that if you don't have any.
I always thought of coaching as an expense. I was like, wow, that's kind of expensive. We have a big team, so we're in a category that makes it, more than $1,000 certainly. And after I started, I'd never even thought of it as an expense. It went into something that was like something I had to have. It went
Yeah.
from, oh man, do I want this as an expense? And it's a moneymaker. It's like your first assistant. You think it's an expense, but if you hire the right person and get them doing the right things, and you free up your time, you just start making more money. And like, you can hire an assistant and add 12 deals a year easily. And in most markets, your average commission is going to pay for that assistant. And um, you know, often these individual agents doing 20 deals create a couple times a year have that opportunity where their reserves are high, and they just need to get a little structure and not be worried about being an employer. It's not that difficult to seek out, like, from somebody like Workman, to get that direction. And I'm not selling coaching.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
but
care.
it's been amazing for me. Like, I often wonder if I stayed on that track, because I see these bigger teams that I started to get into, where they're recruiting heavily. So they bring agents in, they dote all over them, they give them some leads for the first 90 days, 120 days. But in the back end, people are leaving because they've been there. They're not getting leads. They're not getting support. They got their own sphere of influences. So it kind of, I just saw that. I was like, I do not want to be that. And so, I'm not on the big stages right now, and I don't even care. Like, but because
You're on a pretty big one right now, my friend.
I, yeah, we're such, we get motivated by winning, and it's profitability is how you win. And unfortunately, our industry rates by volume. And now, I'm happy not being, in that, top 20 in the country kind of thing. I'll be back there, but it'll be a lot different. It might be a couple of years, and it's not going to be the driving factor. Profitability is.
We got to figure out how to do profitability awards. Gary said that, and I've thought that many times. All right, I've got two questions for you that are both coaching questions. Like, I want you to become a coach for a moment, put your coaching hat on.
Sure.
And Josh wants to know if you can give him a few tactical steps on being more involved in your community. Like, what are some specific things that you would tell him that he could do to become more involved in the community? And then I've got another one that's from the heart question from Kat that I'd like to ask you.
So one of my four pillars of what I wanted people to think of me, that I write about in Create Demand, was that I just wanted people to think I was involved in the community, because I saw some top producers that were really involved. Um, so I had a friend that was volunteering at a Ronald McDonald House type nonprofit called Believe in Tomorrow. And I asked him about it, and he said, well, there's this event committee. And then come to find out, a lot of these nonprofits have event committees that you can join and help throw their annual gala. Or this one in particular had 4 events a year. So I jumped into that, and I found out about these event committees. So I just started volunteering on all these different event committees, and to the point where I was like, wow, I'm very busy. And then what happens, this reciprocity happens. It's, people that like that nonprofit or support it as well. You just start getting calls from people that are thankful that you're giving time. And I never expected that. Um, I just wanted to be that. And then I realized I really enjoyed it. So if you do my disc, my number one motivator is altruism, which I really didn't
Interesting.
know. But yeah, so I enjoy it, and it's great for business. I call it prospecting without prospecting, because it's you're doing good. There's no expectation. But so yeah, to answer your question, event committees, if you have like a SPCA, like if you like animals, um, we're real big with Ronald McDonald House now, my wife and I. And just about any nonprofit's gonna that of any decent size, more than like 10 employees, is probably gonna be doing annual events. This year's a little winky, but I would look into event committees for some of the causes that you really enjoy.
I think it's a great idea. And I think that because this year's so wanky, if I can use that word, is that means they have a greater need because people aren't getting together and the financial needs are still there for all these organizations in your communities. And I think that innovation and the way that we're doing virtual real estate could help a lot of these other organizations create virtual fundraisers and do virtual events and virtually reach out to help people in need. There's a tremendous need in the country right now, all over the world,
Oh
because of
yeah.
COVID, and there's lots of opportunities to serve. And so I love that Josh asked the question, how do I get more involved in my community? And I love your answer. Find the committees and put yourself on them and give back. So this next question, Ron, this is a heart question, and I want you to really listen to the words. I have an answer for this, but I'm going to let you answer it. We'll see how much we are aligned in the way we would answer this. But Kat says, "Hi, I'm from Canada. I started in real estate in June, so right in the middle of COVID." She says, "I've been calling and meeting with people, going through the Workman Success training, and I still don't have a lead. Also, I have another job. By the way, money is tight. What's your advice?"
I'd say don't give up. I just to talk about what I did. Like I went from, like, most agents will have like one deal, they settle it, and then they get another one. I had no deals, and until my third month, I had 10 deals. I just kept on. I called my whole sphere of influence. I had already sort of rebranded what I was about, and I reached out to everybody I knew. Now we focus on our top 50, and we still have our sphere of influence, but I would just reach out to everybody, tell them that you're in real estate. If there's any opportunity to help them, you'd love to serve them, and stick with it, because right now is the only time that you're going to feel that no business feeling, and then things are going to start popping. Like it was crazy for me. Across a 4-day period, I wrote 10 offers, and they all got accepted. And then the assistant came in on a Tuesday. It was a holiday weekend, and my my contracts were such a mess because I didn't go through one whole deal and then do another deal. I wrote 10 offers by myself, all messed up, missing addendums and everything, and they all got accepted. So I'd stick with it, and definitely reach out to everybody and tell them you'd love to help them with real estate, and see if you can shake the trees and find some opportunities.
So I love the call to serve, not to sell. When you're calling to sell, they know you're hungry. They can smell commission breath, as Julie Timms calls it, through the phone. I love that advice. And if I could give any piece of advice, first of all, I want to say to Kat, I'm going to give her a hug. So let's give her a big hug through the phone, because we got you. And the things that you're doing take time. And you're starting in June. It's only July, and it takes a little bit of time. I would tell you that if you can find a team that's doing it well, that's being coached by a Workman coach, that's running the systems that we're running, get on a team and get in the game. The
Yeah.
best trainer of real estate is doing the transactions, and then you know, when you have a job, and I like to say that job stands for just over broke. When you have a job and you're working the job, you don't have enough time to focus on the dollar productive activities that will generate real income for you in your business. And so you have to set a hard stop of when you're going to make that transition, and you just have to get into it. You just have to jump and go for it. And when you go for it and you put yourself in an environment where people are productive and you can do transactions, you can be mentored by people that are going for it, you're going to get there a lot faster. So, everybody's financial system is different. You may need to have that regular cash flow coming in. And if that's the case, then volunteer to be an ISA on a team. Get in a job as an assistant where you can learn the business and convert leads and learn how to do it well. Volunteer as a showing assistant for someone who's really busy with buyers right now, and tell them that for 25 bucks an hour, you'll go out and show houses for them. So replace your income with real estate related activities that have income associated with it while you're learning the business. Those are some things that I would just throw out to try and help her succeed.
Yeah.
And I see you nodding. Is there anything you'd like to add to that?
No, I was just no, it was a good answer. All made a lot of sense. So you've been doing it a little while longer than I have.
Hey, Kat says thanks for the hug. That's all I care about. We got to give and get a hug back. So that's really fun. So Ron, just as we kind of wrap this up today, I'd like to just hear what's next for you. Just in the next couple of years, where do you see yourself and your team? What do you see as your vision?
I'm excited about being really focusing on agent development, and doing it the right way. I'm seeing a lot of brokerage models now that don't really, um, that leave agents in what I call a kill zone. So if somebody asks you to go flying with them, and they have less than 250 hours of training, you want to stay away. That's when most pilots crash and die in that first 250 hours, right? So I see a lot of models out there that leave agents in the kill zone. They get their license, they get to a brokerage, whether it's a discount brokerage or whatever, they just don't have the right direction for agents. So I'm excited to be, using the Workman facilitated programs into agent development, coaching, getting people, so that we're part of the solution. That when these disruptors come in, that we actually have a ton of value. And I just feel like there's so many agents that um, are mediocre and proudly mediocre. These agents that like I was talking about earlier that are getting chased. Where I'm like, I have no interest in, you've been doing that low volume for so long. It's just so yeah. I'm in the next couple of years, we're going to be really focused on finding really good candidates and training them to be really great agents, and not good agents but great agents. And when some of the technologies and Wall Street money, start disrupting our market, that we're in a really good position where people are going to stay loyal and be thankful for doing a job at a very high level.
I love that. Attracting great people, really pouring into them to develop them and keeping a culture where they want to stay.
Yeah, yeah. And then, slowly, steadily expanding into some other markets as it makes sense.
I love that. Well, I just want to say to Ron Howard, on behalf of Workman Success Systems, it's been such a pleasure to have you here on our Wednesday flash briefing. And thanks for sharing your knowledge and your experience and the things that you've been through that have helped create the man that you are today. And of all the things that we've talked about, the one that I am most excited about is your new baby coming up in just a few weeks. So good luck with everything there, and continued success as you continue to pour your heart and soul into serving others. So thank you for being the man that you are, Ron. I appreciate you being here today.
Thank you, Verl. Likewise, I really appreciate everything, and say hi to your family, and can't wait to see you guys in person again sometime. And thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's been great to share and talk with Verl like always.
Thanks, Ron.